Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to make a cake today. We're going to be working with form. That's our 3D version of a shape. It has height, width, and depth. And we'll be using a lot of curved lines because we'll be drawing cylinders today. So we're going to be drawing cylinders. And if you don't know, that's a cylinder. Now, we got to talk a little bit about perspective because we know that this is a circle. However, when we're looking at it, and since we'll be looking at our cake from the side instead of from above, we've got to draw it differently than what we know it is. So the easiest way to draw a cylinder is start with 2 dots. And the 2 dots tell you how wide your cylinder is going to be. Connect with a long, gentle curve. Connect with a long, gentle rainbow. So that will be the top of our cake. So then right where the dots were, you're going to come down, make 2 parallel lines from the dots. And now here comes the part where this is an illusion. We know that this is a round 3D form, so we've got to connect it with a curved line. And that curved line is going to trick our brain into believing that this is a 3-dimensional form as opposed to a flat shape. Now, I'm pretty sure you like cake like I like cake, so I'm going to go ahead and stack cylinders on top of each other using the same steps, but not making it as wide. So dot, dot, curved line, and then come on down to about the middle of your bottom cake. Then you're going to do the curved line again so that it looks like this tier of our cake is sitting on top. But now we've got to get rid of this part that doesn't belong because we can't see through the cake. Now you can add one more on the top. So each one is going to be a little bit thinner than the other, not as wide, but the steps are the same. Always coming down into the other tier and erasing what we don't see. Nice little overlap there. So now I've got a 3-tier cake using cylinders on a portrait tall 12 by 18 paper, and you're going to make sure that your name is on the back. And then we're going to draw our tiered cake and start to decorate it a little bit. But we're going to do something really interesting. We're going to be using black glue to outline all of your cylinders. So I'm going to do it on pink paper, but you're going to have a choice of whatever color paper you want. Now I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to make a nice wide bottom tier. 2 dots, gentle curve, really gentle, just barely bent. And then another one. And then coming down from the dots. Don't go all the way to the bottom of the paper. You want to leave some room to put a plate or a table. And then curved line. So now keep stacking your cylinders all the way to the top of the paper. Don't forget to erase all the pieces that don't belong. It's good practice in overlapping. Now maybe you want to put a topper on it. Let's see, what kind of topper do I want? Try to keep everything that you draw pretty big because you're going to have to trace it in glue, and those lines are much thicker than our pencil lines, so you won't be able to get such great detail. And now you can put a plate at the bottom and a horizon line to make it look like a table. So there's my cake. So now here comes the fun but really tricky part. So you're gonna get a glue bottle that's got glue and black paint in it, and your job is to trace over all of it. Now, here is where it gets a little tricky. If you are left-handed like me, then I like to start at the right and pull over to the left so that I'm not dragging my hand over it. But if you're right-handed, then you're going to want to start at the left so that you can drag this way and not have to go over the same spot twice. So we are going to be coloring this with chalk pastels, one of our messiest but most awesome art supplies. The really cool thing about chalk pastel is that they're really fun to blend and they're really easy to blend, and you can get really great value use of all your different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and pick some kind of like color scheme for each tier of my cake so that each one is different. You're working on different color papers, so different colors will look differently on whatever paper that you have chosen. So for my very top tier, I've kind of chosen some reds and pinks and purples because I know I'm not going to make it through the entire rainbow, so I figure if I go red, orange, yellow, green, or red and purple, yellow and orange, green and blue, purple and something else, you know, you can try to plan it out. Notice that I've turned my paper. You don't want to get any fingerprints on it, and this is pretty messy, so I like to turn my paper. Now the glue is going to make a nice little border for you so that you can stay in the lines. I'm going to add red and then add some pink. Now here comes the really fun part, your finger. And you just kind of like smooth it together and push it into the little creases. Now you're going to see a whole lot of dust. Just pick it up and tap and you'll be on the messy mat, so it won't be too bad. So you want to think about how you're blending, mostly because if you just kind of rub it all back and forth and kind of go all over it, you're just going to make mud. So you want to be thoughtful about how you push it together. When your fingers get really dirty like this, you're going to want to grab a wet paper towel. You should have them at your tables and just kind of like wipe your fingers off. You don't want to get them all wet because then when you go to blend, you'll wet your paper. You just wipe them off and that'll work. Now back to blending.